Hello again, lovely people of the internet. This week we are talking about memories and experiences we've had relating to or involving cars in some significant fashion. The first big thing I can remember doing in a car was my grandparents had a friend that was getting married in Yosemite, and they took me with. I have two standout memories from that trip, one of which is stopping on the side of the road on the way to the wedding because we were gonna get there early, and so we stopped and we played in the snow for a few minutes. The second standout memory I have from that trip is the drive up to Yosemite. My grandfather decided to take the switchbacks, and we discovered that child version of Katy got carsick really, really easily. One car trip we've made a couple of times since we've lived here is the trip from Dallas to Denver. My dad's younger sister and her daughter live in Denver, so a couple of times over the years my dad's whole side of the family has gone to visit them in Denver. What I learned on one of those trips to Colorado is that my dad does not handle driving on the side of a mountain well at all. He decided to all drive up into the mountains and spend a couple of days at a hotel up in this little city up there. And to get there, obviously, you have to take the mountain roads, and my dad is in the passenger seat, and the slope is on the passenger side, and he just had a panic attack the whole way up. It was better on the way down because you're hugging the side of the mountain, and so he's next to like a cliff wall instead of just free fall open space over here. But he was not happy about it at all. My poor dad. First time I had any sort of road trip experience without my parents was actually really recently. My friend Allison and I drove down to Austin to go to the Tour de Nerd Fighting together. What? It was really nice because I hadn't seen Allison in a while. We hadn't really talked, but I like her a lot. I love having her as a friend, and it's really nice to be able to catch up with her every once in a while. And it was really nice to get to spend like a whole long period of time with her because that's not something we'd ever really had the opportunity to do. The first time I drove on any sort of road trip was April, March, April, something like that. Emily's little sister Haley, who you saw in Emily's introduction video, we drove down to Huntsville and we went and hung out with Emily at the Sam Houston Tiki Tournament, their Quidditch team's last event of the year, and it was so much fun. That was actually the first time I met Hannah, so it was a really good weekend. We listened to the first season of Cabin Pressure going down to Huntsville, and we listened to the second one coming back up to Dallas. Actually, I realized that I had somehow missed Limerick the first time I listened the whole way through Cabin Pressure, so I heard Limerick for the first time that weekend, and that was amazing. The captain has turned on all signs, so stow away bags of all kinds. Then make sure your tray is folded neatly away and your seat back no longer reclines. Obviously, cars and road trips have been kind of a big part of my life. I really like the feeling of being out on the open road, especially now that I don't get car sick anymore. I like being in cars. I like driving. I like going places with people in cars. I like driving far away with people in a car. It it's a magical experience, and I think in America especially because we have all this space to cover if we want to drive somewhere, it's pretty empowering to know that, hey, I drove this amount of distance and I did it with this person and we had these experiences and we learned these things about each other and we have these memories now together that could not have been made in any other way than being crammed in a car for God knows how many hours for so many miles. There's just nothing that is at all the same as going on a road trip with someone. And I think I'm done now that I've been sufficiently awkward about ending that. Emily, I will see you on Wednesday.